feel. Ooh, you know how I feel. You,
Three,
you
four,
know how I
five. Okay.
feel.
All right. Well, that kind of sucked. Okay, let me show you guys what's up. Let's see who's here. And welcome. All right, there we are. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, I guess that won't matter. Okay. Okay, hey everybody. Sorry for all the crazy. There we go. Okay, so anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to my super chill slow flow class. Yeah, well, you can. This is a perfect class for being chill and feeling chill. And I'm sorry for the delay, y'all. It just, I don't know why. The last two times that I have tried to stream, my software has just completely crashed, and then I have to restart the whole system over again. So sorry for the delay. If you're watching on replay, you won't know that we're starting about 10 minutes late here. Anyway, I love slow flow. I think one of the ways that I kind of think this is a metaphor for almost all aspects of life, maybe not all of them, but I do feel like variety really feeds you creatively, at least a variety of inputs does. And so I think that the more different ways that you have to hoop, that you discover fun things that you like to do in the hoop, the more different they are, the longer, it's like the more hope that there is that this practice will stick around longer, if that's what you want it to. And sometimes people do. Sometimes people have come to me before and they've been like, I really have never stuck with a practice and I've always wanted to. And so like I would say that like I'm giving you advice for those people. Some people just, they pick up something and they just stay with it. This is definitely the longest that I have ever stayed with anything. And I think that the more varieties of hooping and the more different types of paces of hooping, and then there's this thing that happens where if you put a label on something, and I don't mean that in like the societal way, but you mark something and it kind of helps you inhabit that space more. Right? Like, whereas like you might have enjoyed moving really slowly, and then when you discovered it was called slow flow, or you just thought of the words slow flow or whatever, you realize like, oh no, this is kind of cool. This like sort of settles down my decision making because I don't have to worry about moving fast or if I should be moving fast because I'm in slow flow, right? And so this is like a type of variety that I'm talking about, a fun variety. And so tonight we're going to be working with slow flow. The last time I did a slow flow class, it was like February, unless I missed one. So it's been a minute. So anyway, we're going to jump straight in. And since I'm running a little bit late, I'm going to go ahead and just jump in straight away. And I just realized that my music plan reset too, but that's okay. We're all right. All right. As always, let me know if everything is cool. And we're going to go ahead and start into Sway. And Tara is still in her online yoga class. So she's coming, but she's not here yet. But so I'm going to go ahead and put it, it'll look like it'll say class, but we're going to be in Sway. breath in. Audible breath in. I started teaching slow flow out on the road. I don't know, maybe after a couple years of touring. Actually, maybe longer. And I had felt so weird about talking about it. Because I was convinced that, like, anybody that listened to me would think I had lost my mind. And I remember debuting it. And then realizing that half the room had already been doing it. But that nobody had really talked about it. They had never really filmed themselves doing it. Audible breath in. Tonight we're going to indulge in slowness. And I invite you to keep slowing down. Even when you think you're at your slowest. Audible breath in. There's a time to move fast. We all know that. We all feel that even when we don't move fast. It's easy to torture ourselves for not moving fast enough. And it's become undervalued within us to know how to slow it down, to see the virtue in slowing it down. Audible breath in. Sometimes when we move too fast, we skim the surface. Every moment, skimming the surface. Tonight we're going to slow down and sink into the experience. Audible breath in. Open, open. Sweet. Huh. You look a little dark. Okay. Oops. Let me stop this. Hit here. Oh, it's not. Oh, that's why. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, Tara has joined us, everybody. Sweet. Nama, we missed you, buddy. Welcome. Let's see. I'll give you a look at, let's see. We got Tara there with Rex. She's just joining us after her online yoga study class. And this is me. All right. So let's move into some slow flow now. And I'm really hoping that this works. Okay. Really? Nice. Nice. That means you're blessed. All right, let's get that better. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, let's get going. Okay, so we're going to begin our first slow flow tonight, and we're going to use samurai grip. And all that means is that we're just going to grip the hoop if we want to. You could skip and move straight into point for this if you want. And I'll go ahead and get going on the music. Hey, buddy. So what I invite you to do right now is to hold the hoop as much as you can with one hand for right now. And if you need to help bear its weight, you can push your body into it and hold it. And then, of course, you switch hands when one arm gets tired. And we're going to put two hands back on the hoop in just a second, but what I want you to do is feel full awareness in slow motion. And what I mean by that is that the hand that holds the hoop and the hand that is not holding the hoop, the offhand, are moving in a rhythm together at a pace that's together. There's not a fast hand and a slow hand. Right now, they're all moving at the same, and this is slow motion. And so this is where slow motion moving and just changing paces is not exactly the same thing. Slow motion moving is a little bit different. You're imagining that the whole tape of you, the whole video of you has been slowed down. So everything is slowed down. I fell in love with slow motion movement for a long time. A student told me once that when they were doing slow motion in my workshop that they started counting, and they didn't mean like dancer counting, they really just meant like counting. And she said it helped her slow down because she saw every small motion as a step towards another small motion. So the 3 is as important as the 4, as the 5. Sweet. Sweet. Absolutely. Everybody's showing love. I've never met. But never mind. Chances are you have a creative spirit if you're super down all the time. Not that you have to be down all the time to have a creative spirit. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So for our second slow flow exercise, one of the things that I like to do, or that can be fun to help you learn how to slow things down, is with like a samurai grip in one hand and then a point technique in the other. And it doesn't mean you even have to use your other hand. It's the idea that while one side of you is sort of holding the hoop and anchoring it, the other side, the other hand can be tracing, moving. There is one misconception that some people have about slow flow, and I just want to break you through it right now. That if I went to a HoopPath class and we're doing slow flow and I was hoping for a big workout, I would begin to move all the big muscle groups that I wanted to move because slow flow opens that up, right? I don't have very good balance. I'm not super fast or super quick, but because I'm moving slowly, I can step through the hoop. Because the pace is such, I can spend some time on one leg developing that balance. And then the more I move my legs, right, or the higher I lift or the lower I dip down, the more my heart rate comes up. And then I am in control of what kind of workout I want to have, if that's what I want. To be honest, that's not where I'm at all tonight. For me personally, I'm into the permission to go slow tonight. I like the idea. If you're new to hooping, you can really develop a sense of touch by anchoring the hoop with one hand, but then allowing the other hand or the other arm to just play. And if you just allow it to play and just it to have a relationship, cool things that you've never seen anybody do will come out of you. And cool things that just feel cool, even if you've seen a million people do them, they just will start to come out of you, right? That all this stuff, all these movements are just buried beneath just flow, right? They just need to be revealed. I'm using one hand as sort of an anchor for the hoop, and then the other hand is of course that's pretty fast. It's not as sort of slow as I thought. You have any thoughts, comments, or things to share, babe? All right. I guess it is a little bright on me. Okay. Okay. Okay.
No, it was interesting how that slow movement allowed for focusing on your breath with the hoop too, breathing with your movement.
I did not hook Tara's mic up, but basically what she's saying is that she was connecting, or it was easy to connect her breath with her movement just now, and she enjoyed moving it slow that way. Yeah, exactly. And there's so much richness to snowflow, to snowflow. I don't even know what that would mean. Okay, for our next slow flow technique, and this is probably going to seem a little bit weird, but swings can really work their way nicely into slow flow. Because what a swing really does is it really teaches you how to control the hoop without grip. I mean, it teaches you one way to control the hoop without grip. But don't obsess about it, because that's not what's really important for tonight. It's not how clean and crisp your technique looks right now. But rather, for slow flow, we're going to try to fall into the rhythm of the hoop, like with our bodies. Like, so if I'm sending it, like if I'm just in a classic sort of stopwatch type rotation with the hoop, I want to be able to sort of control that rotation, and I can use my hands or a little bit of grip, or if you know how to do it, you can use 2-point. It's a little bit tricky. And then essentially, like, just to open it even more up, like if swing is just not your thing, you can go ahead and start to combine samurai with your swing. For instance, like I could be swinging And I swing out, samurai, boom, or grip. And some sort of slow moment in the song. We're connected. That's why. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the music back on. I'm playing all these songs right now off one album that I really like from Phalian and this other producer. So for instance, if I wanted to, if I wasn't feeling swing technique at all, I could just completely mimic a swing with using samurai grip. But as your movement coach, teacher tonight, what I'm hoping you'll see is these big moments. Like I can imagine I'm taking, in what would be regular time, like this huge moment. A giant swing or a big swipe. Slow it down, slow into it, slow out of it. I keep having to tell myself, chill out, chill out, chill out. Okay, so, okay, I hope you guys are digging this. I am, so we're going to slow it up even more. I'm realizing that the tracks are getting fast. It's making me want to go. What's awesome about this is you can really sort of, change your whole sense of time and rhythm necessary to hoop. But what I want to do right now is I want to show you more directly and then play with this idea on the next exercise where we are using slow flow to help us feel, I guess what you could call levers, or to feel ways of pushing the hoop. And I've shown you guys this one before. It's super basic, but if I'm holding the hoop and it's inside me here, right? Like I've got night side, push there, and then I bring my hands to my chest, right? And they could touch or not, and then I just pick off either hand. It doesn't matter if I'm here, and I can just grab this other arm and then roll the hoop out. Super nice and easy. And then if I switch hands, I can do the same thing with the other one. And I know I'm going to be asking a lot as your teacher, but the more free you can be to feel for these different ways of pushing and holding the hoop, the more rich your experience will most likely be. The more I step through without knowing where it's going, the more I push. Good. The more my body learns. I think sometimes hoopers forget that your tool is perhaps the most powerful symbol in the world. Almost every culture has conceived of a circle. Almost everyone never saw one perfect in nature outside of the sun, the moon. In every religious faith, a circle is there. The backbone of technology. You're moving with the same mystery, the same symbol. If you haven't tried long balances yet, they're so good for slow flow. And so good for you. Okay, cool. We have time for one more, at least. So I want to. I don't want to kill the momentum. If we're on a good space here, but sometimes slow flow, since we've been tapping into our creativity a lot, it can also help us really with our with learning a movement. And so the movement that I want you to play with right now, if you haven't done it before, slow-mo or moving in slow motion is so perfect to learn this. So if I'm holding the hoop here, we're going to work on the penny roll. So if I'm holding the hoop here, it's on my arms. I'm in this position, right? And I'm going to bring my hands in, like I can fold them or whatever, and then I'm going to pull them out like this, right? So they're here, and then we'll pull them out like this. And then I can pick an arm, any arm, and that's going to be the carry arm. And so if it's whatever the carry arm is, wherever you want the hoop to hold, you're going to keep that elbow high, right? And you're going to give the hoop a little bit of a push with your hand so that it wants to walk. And then as it wants to walk, you're going to reach the other arm back here and then carry it around. So you do need a push to really make this sort of work. And this is what it looks like. I probably should have not broken it down. So, yeah. Okay, no, the one thing is it's a hanging. The hoop is hanging here. It's hanging from my arms. And so what's going to happen is the hoop's going to go from my arms here to under here, right? At some point, probably, right? Exactly. That's it. Tara's one of those people that gets everything fast. But I'm here, so I'm here. I bring my hands in and I push down, and that keeps it up on. So I'll show you what it looks like. Boom. Boom. Now, what you're going to be trying to feel for, though, in this particular version that I'm teaching you guys, is to feel the smear across your legs or however big your hoop is. Because this is a smear technique. That's how you know if you're hanging the hoop. You'll know if the hoop's in a true hang, it's smearing. Like there's some part that is the southern part that is touching you all the time. That's the move. And so I want you use that sense of touch. There we go. Sorry that took so long to bring this up. There we go. So sweet. So I'm in super slow motion right now. I'll show you a different technique, different approach to this same idea. Now I'm just holding the hoop here, my hands are sort of in flight. I just grab a hand and then push that bird, use that bird to just push the hoop down. Do you see how it then presents the hoop to my other? I just can't emphasize enough. Find a place on your shoulder, your arm, that the hoop can hang. It may not be all the way out on your arm. Maybe you need it to stay on your shoulder for now. But the thing is that the hoop is always hanging from you in this particular move. It's always hanging from somewhere. It's not being suspended by the hands. It's hanging from them. Thought about this, but since this is a sort of foundations class, feeling the hoop just, if I am just moving, I'm holding myself this way and I'm feeling the hoop on my thighs here, and I start to just sort of move around, if I bring, let's say, my right arm or any arm close to me without gripping the hoop, it's going to start to fold the hoop around me. And watch how, see the angle that my arm is when it's back in night? I'm really holding the hoop up there. I've got to get underneath the hoop in day, which is pretty obvious, but then we forget that we got to get under the hoop in night. So I'm just gonna flow with this and let you guys work with it, and then you can ask me questions if you need. I'll show you what it looks like at full speed. Honestly, my hoop is starting to take flight sometimes, so I'm not giving you the perfect demo right now. There we go. Just to give you one more crack at this, I'm here, bring my hands in, namaste, split them apart, right, reverence, and then push down, and as I push down with this hand, this is the motion. I'm pushing it down, the elbow is staying high so that I can keep hanging the hoop from there. The elbows, you see how they, I'll show you here. See how they dip behind me and then they come up into my night and carry the hoop up into day. I never really thought about this quite so much. They sort of slope down into night and then come back up into day. Tara and I kind of at the same time, uncoordinatedly, both started stalling, and that's a really fun way to come out of what we were just doing. So if I'm here, and I'm doing this sort of penny roll movement or doing some contacty stuff, the moment I start spinning, I can cheat a little bit and bring my arms up, but the moment I start spinning, the hoop's in flight. So I can go from super slow to in flight pretty quick. Start to get dizzy, slow everything up. Thank you, Nama. All right. So I thought what we'd do to end tonight. Of course, we can have a free hoop. I can play some music for you, but I think I'm hoping I want to try something with you guys. I think what's been happening, because we've done this slow flow thing, it's been this like slow build, and so I actually think that your bodies are pretty activated right now, because you've been using your left arm. You haven't had to worry about the hoop crashing into anything. So what I want to do is see if we can take this momentum that's in your body right now and bring it to balance. So I'm going to go ahead and press a song, or I'm going to bring the okay. And we're going to move straight into balance, because I want to see what happens now that you're in, you've been in this sort of slow flow mind. Now, if you hate balance, don't worry about it. But remember, all it takes is learning one balance, and you'll start to learn all the other balances. But what balance you learn first might be different than what I learned first, or what Tara learned first, or Anne, or anyone else. The first balance that I teach is the sun balance, where the hoop is right in front of me. This is called a single point balance, 1 point balance, because the hoop is out in front of me. Well, it's because I'm only making 1 point of contact, but this is a bow balance. And some people learn this one first. But when you're in slow flow, and the reason that I'm adding this in is that watch how I can do this. Like if I'm in slow flow already and I'm moving, the song's nice and gooey and comfortable, I can just sort of release right into this balance. And then I can come right back into my samurai and bring my grip in, but this slow flow helps me just sort of push up into a balance for a second and feel kind of like a badass, because I hold it even if it's not for very long. You see what I'm doing there? So I come up, I'm just going to feel that balance just for a second, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring grip in or change my flow. You are welcome. Thank you for joining us. I don't know. Okay. I think we'll do one more of these super slow tracks. Guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I don't know what just happened to the... I don't know what that's about. But we'll just slow it up for the last little free hoop here, and I'll fix the sound graphic there in a second. Thank you guys for joining me. You're welcome, Carla. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. We super appreciate it.
Ooh, you know how I feel. You know how I feel.